Good morning. The task at hand for each human being is a magnificent one. The truth is that each individual has the potential to be a creative force. A creative force meaning that their reality is created, born, and made physical by their inner being. The inner being has the potential to create worlds, to create stars, to birth magnificent physical apparatuses, which has happened in the past. Your pyramids are examples. Your technologies are examples. Your cars are examples. Each of these are physical manifestations of the mind of an individual, inspired by source, cultivated in the mind of a human being, and birthed into your physical reality. In truth, each one has the potential to birth magnificent creations, inspired creations, born only and unto themselves, if they only knew and trusted their inner being. Each one has inspirations, each one has passions unto themselves. Yes, your children see these passions, they see these inspirations, and they playfully act on them, drawing your pictures, developing your boards, participating in your games, creating their devices. Each one, when inspired, moves and acts on those inspirations to what many adults view as whimsical or nonsensical ends. But in truth, the passion born of inspiration manifests physically modified examples of what the creative process within the human being can do. Adults would do well to watch their children, to just observe their children and the creative process at work. Nothing becomes something. Emptiness becomes a created physical structure. Look to your beaches. Look to your beaches and the creations developed by your children, inspired with their buckets, with their shovels, with their cans, some without actual toys, developing their ideas in mind and then using whatever is available to create physical structures, physical apparatuses. This is the same process that creates worlds. This is the process that creates stars, creates suns through the movement of source energy. This is the process that each one can engage in inwardly that creates their reality. In the present moment, each one is unconscious of their dominant ideas, unconscious of the mind that is driving them and creating the negativities in their world, creating the stresses, creating the pains, creating the structures that continue to encourage pitfalls in their life, in their relationships, in their finances, in their health. Well-being is an idea. Health is an idea. Magnificent, overwhelming finance is an idea. Beautiful relationship, whether intimate or in business, is an idea. And each one has the capacity to evolve and to expand and continue to grow these ideas beyond what they are today into a tomorrow that is bolder, that is brighter, that is more expansive, that is more encompassing of volumes of human beings, of volumes of creative energy spanning their homes, spanning their communities, spanning their cities, their states, their countries, and their world. Each one is an entire universe unto themselves. Each one has the choice of the frequency they choose to live. Each one has the choice of the energies in which they choose to express and present from their inner being. Their inner being exists in and of the highest energies, in and of matching energies as that of source. It moves to the highest experience. It moves into the highest expansion. It leaps into new realities based on the ideas and the inspirations, the passions that well up inside each individual. And at that moment, each individual must move in their ideas, the ideas present in their mind. Each individual must move to that same place that their inner being has reached. But this is the case. This is where the problem gets presented. The ideas that are established in the mind of the individual must be catered, must be transformed into new ideas that allow that movement to take place. Your inner being has no limitation. Your inner being has no mind that blocks it from shifting to and fro. The manifested human being has a mind, has a body. And this is where the creative process breaks down, because they are not masters of that mind. They have not developed the conscious ability to recreate that mind to a position that allows them to move energetically into the space that their new desires, their new passions, the inspirations born of their inner being. They have not developed the ability to consciously transform that mind that allows them to move to the space where the new ideas exist, where their inner being has leapt to. These are energy shifts. These are state of being shifts. You can feel the highness of the flow of the energy. You can feel the tickling through the spine where the energies surge when you have a new idea or a new desire. Whether it's a partner, whether it's a car, whether it's a diamond jewel, anything that is new, a new passion, a new desire creates an exhilarating energy flow. Most fail to notice it. Most fail to notice the joy. Most fail to notice the exhilaration of a new idea. And this exhilaration is the same as your sexual orgasm. It's the same. That exhilaration surges through the body. It empowers, it gives life to the body, and the same exhilaration, the same energy surge that creates new life, births a new idea in the vibrational realm. In those specific moments, new ideas are birthed. They exist in your vibrational funnel. They exist in your vortex, as they say. And all there is to do now from the human being standpoint is to cultivate that idea as it grows in energies, as it grows in density. It will at one point reach a position in growth and expansion that your physical senses will be able to perceive it. This is the difference between your physically observed new ideas, your physically observed inventions, your physically observed technologies that have never been seen before. They were birthed as ideas in the vibrational realm, and these ideas were cultivated. They were loved. They were expected. They were focused upon until the point where the vibrational construct grew to a position where your physical senses, where humanity's physical senses was able to perceive. In your time and space, this is a gestation period. It's the same as the seeds that are sown into the ground. You do not become angry or frustrated with the seeds because they do not sprout from the ground immediately. You give them their time. You know that the seeds are planted. You know that the seeds are there. And they're given their time without resistance. You do not pull the seeds out of the ground to check them. You water them. You love them. You do not scream and yell at them. You do not stomp on them. They lie untouched, unmoved, free of resistance, free of fear, free of hesitation. They're allowed to birth. They're allowed to be born. And as the sprouts come from your most fertile ground, they're cultivated even more because now you have seen the physical manifestation. You know that it lives. And so it's cultivated. It's fertilized. It's loved. It's spoken to. It's given room to breathe because you know once it reaches maturity, the fruit will be born. The fruit will be made available. This is the process of your physically sowing seeds into your farmlands, into your grounds, of every plant, every tree, every flower, every fruit. And this is the same process of your ideas. This is the same process of your desires, your inspirations that are born within. Allow the ideas to grow. Know that they exist. Know that they are true. Cultivate these ideas. Lay your attention on these ideas and give them love. Send them love. Send them your excitement. Send them your joy. Send them more energy akin to the exhilaration that birthed the idea in the first place. And allow them to grow in vibration. Allow them to grow in energy. Allow the particles to coalesce to the idea, drawing the resources, drawing the people, drawing everything that is necessary for that idea to live and breathe physically until the point that you can perceive it with your physical senses. It is made real the minute it is born. It lives, it breathes the minute it is born. You must cultivate it until you can perceive it with your physical senses. This is your position, yes, in the physical. Follow your inspirations. Move about your day. Move about in the physical world and do those things that you feel or you are inspired that are connected to that idea. This merely gives it life. This merely, moment by moment, sends it more energy because you are focused on activities that give it life. Because you are saying to the idea that you believe in it, that you know it exists, that you know it's true, and that you know it will be born. This is the only reason why in business you would set up the meetings, because you know that your business is alive and it lives. This is the only reason why you would call your friends to set up that meeting or to set up that trip, because you know the idea lives, because you know it exists, and you know it can be made real, and you know that those that are supposed to participate will participate. You know that the space that you're looking for, you will find. You know that the good time that you want to have is possible and will be had. Yes, even your good times are made the same way. And look at the speed in which they're created. Yes, your magnificent trips, your vacations, they're all made the same way. They do not exist. No piece, no part of it exists until the idea is born. And then at some point in your time-space reality, it becomes a part of your past because it has been made manifest. But look at the process. It was an idea. You went about your day. You did those things that you felt necessary, that you felt were pieces and parts of the idea being born that were required of you. But in truth, if you had not made those physical activities, if you had not moved about your day performing physical activities, the idea would have been born anyway. If you had cultivated the idea, someone else would have made the calls. Someone else would have positioned themselves. Someone else would have decided upon the location. Someone else would have set up the transportation. All of the pieces would have coalesced anyway. All of the pieces would have been brought together in energy anyway, because you birthed the idea. You can watch both ways take place. You can do the movements, or you can watch others be manifest and perform the movements as you simply cultivate the idea. Now, I know this goes against your physical realm, the activities, because you must strive, right? You must act, right? These are what are necessary in your time-space reality. This is what you have been taught. This is what society believes. You must act. You must go to work. You must do these things in order to create your finances, in order to create your relationship, in order to find your mate or your partner, in order to build your home, in order to purchase your cars, in order to create your businesses. You must act. You must perform magnificently. You must strive. You must become tired. You must become stressed. You must overcome unworthiness. You must find your client. You must drive. And none of this is true. None of this is true. None of this is the true nature of creating worlds, of creating your reality. Your grandest activity is one of love, and that is to cultivate the idea. That is to feed the idea similar energies as to that birthed the idea. It is to sow and feed the idea similar energies akin to that of your sexual orgasm. Feeding the ideas, this exhilaration, this energy, will allow it to grow. Not will grow it, but will allow it to grow with magnificent strength, with magnificent attraction, pulling the pieces, pulling the resources, pulling all that is necessary for it to appear in perfect form that you can perceive with your physical senses. This is the nature, the true nature of your reality. This is the true nature of the creative process that exists within each one. And this creative process can move. This creative process can be activated and is active right now on the basis of your focus. whether you're focused on that which you want or the absence of that which you want. Either one, because you are powerful, because you are a creator, because you are the reflection of source, that which creates worlds, that which creates stars, that which creates suns in many different galaxies, in many different star systems. You are a perfect reflection of that which resides at the center. And that which you focus on in mind and body is what is currently being manifest in your reality that you can perceive with your physical senses. We share these ideas in love. We share these ideas in hopes that a few of you might apply them to your lives and become models and examples for your communities. We have always existed for each of you. We exist now for each of you. We are waiting for each of you to access your inner non-physical resources. And we celebrate your becoming that which is closer and closer and closer akin to source that resides within. Thank you.